Until next time, Southern Sassy. Hey.
Join us. Welcome to Southern
Sassy.
We're here today to go car shopping.
That's right. We're going to learn how to buy some cars, and
who better to show us how to do that
than
Greg Epps. Look who we found. We said, Greg,
here.
show us how to buy a car. And you know what he said?
Oh, yes, we can.
Let's go buy a car, Jamie.
All right, welcome to Southern Sassy. We are going to learn about how to buy a car, we hope.
That's right. And that's going to be exciting because we have a friend over here from North Georgia Toyota that's going to show us how.
Yeah, Jake's going to answer all our questions.
That's right. He was chosen to answer our questions.
Most important question, what's the best color and do colors cost extra?
As far as that goes, really it comes down to customer preference. There are certain colors that do cost a little more. So there's certain, especially for new Toyotas, I'm more specialized in new Toyotas, but we have colors like Blizzard Pearl, we have colors like Ruby Flare Pearl that actually take longer to paint. So you'll see a $395 color charge on those. But for the most part, colors typically, don't, cost extra as far as the vehicle goes, and it really comes down to what you prefer.
Yeah, I guess that's the most important thing is like when you have someone that comes in, like particularly I'm just talking about women, it's like where do you start with, like do you try to find out what they're wanting as far as what height?
What height?
They want that. I mean, can they get in the car or not? I had trouble
getting up on the tailgate.
So I would not go
for
with
Judy.
the truck, okay? I would go with a low car.
Well, let's walk over. Let's come look at this.
Well, I asked him a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He was going to answer it for me. Okay.
As far as that goes, what we typically like to do is what's called a needs analysis. So we would really sit down with each individual person that's going to be, involved in driving the vehicle, and we're going to see what's important to them, because the first thing is going to be liking the vehicle that you're going to drive. So we would make sure, obviously, whether they're looking for a truck, an SUV, a car, and then we would kind of start in that direction, figure out what colors are, going to work the best, and then we would, show them some options.
Okay. All right, Jamie Reed.
When's the last vehicle you bought? Did you buy a truck? You have a truck?
No, I don't have a truck.
Okay. Oh, so we have.
Most of my, everything I buy is low to the ground.
Well, there you go.
Woo, let's go.
Well, you asked something a while ago. We were talking about sticker price versus regular price, and like there's a price on a car that's not firm a lot of times. I mean, can you talk to people and there's ways like, do you start at the sticker price or do you start at like the price per month?
Or their payoff price or what?
Yeah, I mean, how do you like go about like figuring out what your payment and stuff would be?
Right, so kind of how that works nowadays is a lot of people do, research online and kind of do some, general figuring things out, what rate they may qualify for. There's a lot of online resources, but when they're here on the lot looking, first and foremost, we would figure out obviously which vehicle they're looking at, and it depends on if they're going with new or used. That does make a big difference. As far as each individual dealership is going to do things differently, but we do try to be very honest and transparent. And how we would do that on our new vehicles, you'll see that we have, save X amount. So how that works is by law, we're required to have what's called a Monroney label, and that's going to be on the backside window there on new vehicles. And that shows, what the MSRP, the suggested retail price is. Now then what we do nowadays, because of how competitive the market is we go ahead and just list that discount up front and offer our customers on new cars the very best price up front. So even if you're coming in looking after hours, you could say $4,500. You look at what the bottom line MSRP is, and then you know your selling price. And then after that, obviously, you do have to calculate in taxes and fees, which we do present all that to you. But on used, it's very much different. We've also kind of went with more of an upfront strategy on used. But then again, obviously if a vehicle's been here for a long time, that does kind of make a difference wanting to move it. So we try to adjust our prices daily, but normally as far as the way our dealership operates, we have a little bit more room to negotiate on used per se.
Yeah. You really have a beautiful selection here, but the thing is that I see a lot of, SUVs that are on the road now. I mean, more than ever now. And that seems to, people love those, I think.
Right, I mean, we've actually seen a big shift in our market. So what we've seen is we were selling about 60%, cars and 40% trucks. Now we're kind of reverse. So we're seeing about 60% of consumers buying a truck or SUV, 40% buying a car. So it is definitely a shifting market.
Yeah, and a lot of about whites. Have you noticed all
Yeah.
the white cars? Why is that?
Yeah.
Why are you seeing a lot of white cars out? I wonder.
Honestly, a lot of people, you know, do tend to gravitate towards the extremes. So, you know, you'll see a lot of white, a lot of black. That probably is typically our, you know, 2 most popular colors. But, you know, there are a variety for customers that, you know, do want a red, a blue, you know, gray. There's a lot of different colors that Toyota and other manufacturers offer. So.
Right. So I guess there are typical questions that you have to ask people when they come in.
Yeah, what is something like important that we should ask when we go to buy a car?
As far as that goes, some of the most important things to ask would be, you know, features on the vehicle. So you want to know the exact vehicle you're getting, and you want to know, you know, does it have what you're looking for? Whether you're looking for something, you know, more loaded out with JBL audio or an upgraded audio system, whether you want factory navigation, you know, you're going to ask if it maybe has third row or doesn't. If your third row meets your preferences, you may ask gas mileage questions if you're, you know, worried more about gas mileage. And then some other questions, especially on used, would be how much of the warranty's remaining, because you do want to, you know, obviously know what kind of value you're getting, and, you know, if unfortunately the vehicle does break down, what your options are and that you're covered. And then the second thing would be the condition. You know, overall you can look at the condition, you know, obviously here, or, you know, a lot of times we'll do videos and send people photos and that kind of thing. But you do want to know, you know, how well the vehicle's been maintained. So we always provide the Carfax to our customers.
Okay, I was getting ready to say, I knew there was a service out there that they say they can supply, whether it's been in a wreck or not or whatever. So that is legitimate, something you can obtain.
Absolutely, and we're very upfront with that. There's kind of 2 main services that dealerships use. There's a system called Auto Check, and then the more reputable one in our opinion, and what we use is called Carfax, and we do list it online, so it's free for every customer to look at the Carfax on all of ours. And then a lot of times we'll bring that up and are very transparent about it, because, you know, it does, if it's had an accident, it does obviously go into why the vehicle may be listed at a little bit lower price. If it doesn't have as good of maintenance history, if it's had more owners, you know, all those things do go into, you know, how you price used vehicles.
Is it a good idea to get extended warranties?
I absolutely do think so. I mean, personally, I've always bought extended warranties with my vehicles, and I do think that that is a great option. It all depends on the vehicle, and you know, like I said, some people, you know, opt not to, and hey, that's understandable. But, you know, in the unfortunate circumstance that, you know, something does happen, it's a lot better to pay a little bit up front and be covered than be in a tricky situation
Peace
later.
of mind.
Oh, that's
yeah,
true.
you know.
Yeah,
Oh well.
cover.
We got to take a
Absolutely.
break. Okay. Okay. We'll be right back on Southern
Sassy.
Thank y'all so much.
Well, we're back here on Southern
Sassy.
and we're at North Georgia Toyota. We're with Matthew, and he's going to show us some tips of things I guess you and I don't know
Yeah,
about
which is
cars.
probably a lot.
Yeah. So, all right. So where do we start?
Oh no, let's
Jane
start with
Marie.
show and tell, okay? All right, Matthew,
What's that?
help us. Judy,
Go for it.
what can you name?
Well,
Anything?
This is the battery. No, that's the battery. What would that be?
That would be your engine air filter and then the air filter box.
What does that do?
So that will filter the air before it enters the motor for the combustion process.
So that's not like the air conditioning for the car air.
No, ma'am. That's just strictly for the engine
Well,
alone.
where is that? Where's the air conditioning for the car?
The air conditioning for the car, there is a AC condenser that is right here on the back side of the core support, and then there is a filter for the air conditioning system like you would have in your home. And they call it a cabin air filter, and that's behind the glove box.
Okay, so that kind of filters it so you don't get all the gunk and
All
stuff like
the
in your home.
dust and pollen and
Okay.
allergens inside the car. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If your car's running hot and say you're out on the road, maybe on the interstate, whatever, what do you do? I mean, like, say you pull over, you
first
have
thing would be,
water
like-
and throw over the. They used to
No,
throw
no.
water over it. Remember
That's
that?
a bad thing. You would just pull over at a safe and convenient spot where you feel comfortable, and then the first place would be to check the expansion tank to see how much coolant is in that. If that is full, then once the car cools slightly, then you can remove the radiator cap and check the coolant in the actual radiator.
So even if smoke and stuff's coming out of the hood, you can open the hood?
You can open the hood, but do not open the cap
See,
because
I'm
it's
afraid-
under pressure.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yes,
thinking.
ma'am.
I would be afraid to like stick my hand up there and open
This
the hood.
is not pressurized, so you can open that at any time.
Okay.
That expansion tank.
And that's like the water tank or
It
whatever.
will, as the coolant expands and contracts, as the car warms up, it will basically pull some coolant out of that tank, and then as it cools, it'll push some back into the tank.
Hey,
Yes,
where's,
ma'am.
where's the stuff that you put your water in, you know, to wash
The
your
windshield washer fluid, that would be right here.
Oh, that's important, Judy.
Yes,
Good
ma'am. So you can
question.
see on those
Oh, that's easy.
spring days when all the
So you
bugs
can
are stuck
just,
in the car.
So you can do your own. We can,
ourselves.
yeah.
Yeah, that's easily topped
Well,
off.
I've seen it for sale. I just didn't. No, I just figured it's for car guys. What is that?
That's where you would actually put engine oil into the motor. That would be like your oil filler
Yeah, there
cap.
used to be like an old dipstick.
There's a dipstick,
Is there
yes,
still
ma'am.
a dipstick?
There's still an engine oil dipstick.
Okay.
And that would be right here on the front of the
J.
motor.
Marie, there's still dipsticks.
Always indicated by a yellow
Got you,
handle.
Judy.
Engine
my
oil
sweet
dipstick is
dipstick.
always yellow.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
when
you take it out and wipe it off and stick it back in
Yes,
just like
ma'am.
they used
So like
Oh.
after the car has been driven and up to normal operating temperature, let it sit for a couple minutes and then check your engine oil on flat level ground.
Okay.
With the engine turned off.
Do women, I mean, like, do people go through all this procedure now, or does the computer just tell everything? What's wrong with it?
I mean, it will detect malfunctions and faults, but it does not indicate fluid levels and conditions, items like that.
So you do have to check your oil.
It needs to be checked at least, well, the manufacturer says every time you fill your car with fuel,
Wow.
but most people do it like every 5,000 miles. That's the
Okay.
service interval on a Toyota would be every 5,000.
Oh, see, I always thought people just relied on computers now.
I
No,
know.
it,
Well,
it
so
will tell
much
you
of it
some
is,
information,
yeah.
but not all.
So can you put your own oil in there, or do you take it to the dealership?
You
or?
can take it to any dealer or any Toyota dealer, but if you wanted to fill it like at home, you just want to make sure to get the correct oil weight, which this is 0W20.
Okay. And you want to put it in the correct hole. You don't want to put it in the water
No,
hole.
ma'am.
if it's
You
an
do
oil
not want
hole.
to mix fluids. That can make
Have you done that before?
No.
That will do it bad.
I've not. Well, there's another thing that comes off. What is that?
That is your brake fluid. That's your brake fluid
I had
reservoir.
no idea there was like so many fluids. I mean, I guess I just never thought about it. I mean, I knew the windshield wiper thingy and the oil.
But yeah,
yeah,
that's
the
just a
wind-
hydraulic
yeah.
fluid, like any
Okay.
other fluid, needs to be changed periodically as well.
And
too.
that's the what now?
That's the brake fluid.
So if this goes out, what happens? It could run into the rotor?
You no, if that were, extremely low, you would have like a low brake pedal or brake fade, like where you'd hit the brakes and you just keep going, and before it would stop.
So how often should we get our cars serviced?
Toyota recommends every 5,000 miles for a minor service, and then they do like an intermediate service every 10, and then a major service every 30.
Oh, that's good to know.
So, women, we handle the men
You put
and
up
all
with a
the
lot.
housework, and we have to do
Put
all
up
the
with a
errands.
lot.
What is something important? Because I know sometimes, like my car low tire light comes on because it's cold.
Temperature fluctuation.
Yeah, I was
yes,
going to
ma'am.
say it's not. I've learned not to panic. Like, what's a really important light? Like, if with the computer, if it comes on.
So if you have like a check engine light and it is flashing, that means vehicle does not need to be driven, and then it's detecting either an ignition system fault or an engine misfire or something like that.
Okay.
So if
So
you
don't
have
drive it.
No, if that indicator light is flashing, it is not recommended driving. No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, this has been very
But that's the low tire light will come on with
Well, I
temperature
finally
fluctuation.
figured that out. I used to panic and go, "Oh my gosh, my low tire light," and I'd put air in it and be back the next day, and I'm like, then somebody says, "Oh, it's just cold," and I went, "What do you mean it's cold? It's just
Yeah.
I didn't realize
Yeah,
that."
I don't know how
See,
to put
y'all
air
don't
in
tell
tires.
us these things.
Well, I mean, with it's every 10 degrees of temperature change, expect 1 to 2 pounds of tire pressure fluctuation.
How far down can you go before you do something?
How far low
mean,
tire
yeah,
pressure?
like if it
I would
tells you.
say
You shouldn't go low.
normally 25 psi would be about
Okay.
as low as I would comfortably go. On
And if you
tire
go
pressure.
lower, what happens?
Flat?
It creates a bunch of heat in the tire itself, and that can contribute to tire failure, like a blowout.
Oh, you don't want to do that. Do you know how to put air in tires? Because I
Yeah.
don't. Do you?
Yeah, I
don't even know how
because
to
I
do
keep
that.
having a low left tire because of the
Oh.
If it's one tire repeatedly, though, you may have something.
No, it took turns.
Okay.
Don't you just drive up and say, "Could you come in here and check my tire level?"
No, you have to pull up to the air and put all your quarters in.
They used to have those. You remember service stations?
Self-serve.
Yeah.
Or they would
that was
have
service.
no,
They would
they
come
they would
back
have
for you.
a gas station attendant.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Like on Mayberry, Gomer.
Yes,
you know,
they
yep.
did all that for you.
They did.
And you just smiled and said, "Thank you very much, and bye."
I do remember that.
Top off your oil, washer fluid,
Yep,
put gas
absolutely.
in it.
Yeah, we didn't have to know all this.
No.
We just sat there while
No.
they did it.
Now you really need to know for
Yeah.
yourself. That's good.
You do. Good.
Well,
It's
thank
wonderful.
you so
Yes, ma'am.
much.
Happy to help.
All right, y'all stay tuned. We'll be back. All right, welcome back to Southern.
Sassy,
We are,
broke down. It's what we are.
broken
I
down.
told you should not have passed that car in the median.
and we have no cell service. So
I don't know what to do.
we have a flat tire. So we're gonna open
Let's
the
do
trunk.
it.
We have somebody talking us through this because we don't know what to do.
So we're
All
gonna
right, what's in the trunk? There's
pop the
nothing in the
trunk.
trunk.
No,
Judy,
ma'am.
there's
You
nothing
need your
in the
license
trunk.
plate on.
Okay.
So we'll lift up the cargo cover right there.
All right.
So
What
now
is
we
it?
have-
Here. We have to.
We have tools.
Okay. Here.
So we have jack,
What in the world?
handle,
Jack and
then
Ozzy
an
and
extension.
Harriet and- okay.
And then we have the tire
Oh, there's
itself.
more. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that a regular tire? Oh,
That's a
spare.
compact spare.
But you can't get it out.
You got to
It's
take
stuck.
the big old lock nut off the metal.
See, I wouldn't know that. Would
Oh
you?
no, I would never know. I'd be there for an hour.
Now this is strictly temporary, so you can go 50 miles at 50 miles an hour. It's not intended to drive
I don't
on
think
for
my car goes 50 miles an hour.
a longer period of time.
Okay, well at least it's not as heavy as like a. Well, I take that back.
It's pretty stout.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy-ish.
Change that tire, Jamie Marie.
Nope, you're just talking us through this. We can do this.
All right.
Just because we're girls doesn't mean we can't.
We
do
know
this.
how to do it.
All right,
we follow
put the hickey
instructions.
do together. I got the tire.
So we're gonna set the jack, and first of all, you're gonna wanna make sure you're on flat level ground and always set your parking brake when jacking the vehicle up. Parking brake is set. I did double check.
Okay.
So now we need to find the jack point to safely
sorry?
lift the vehicle.
The jack.
So what we're gonna do is lift from the pinch weld of the car. So there's
In
an
English, wait. Is there another word for that? Is there like a little holy thing? Or
there's like
a
two
flat
little
piece?
indicators underneath here
Okay.
to show where the jack is actually gonna sit.
And that's the jack.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
you wanna set the pinch weld is basically where the car is seamed together, several pieces of metal are spot welded together, and that's what's gonna fit in that little channel right there.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's kind of going to attach to it.
Yeah, it's gonna fit in that little groove.
Oh, so it doesn't just like sit up under there. Did they used to just set up under there with a platform and just pick them up and down?
They
Or
would
do they
use
always like?
a bottle, older vehicles had a body on frame where this is a unibody vehicle.
Can you
Can you
jack this
see?
far out?
Yeah.
With that? With one hand?
Well, you're going to find out because he's going to take. She should be doing that. You're doing too much for us. You're
No.
supposed to just tell us what to do.
I'm just lining it up with the pinch welds.
So how do you know where to put it?
You really gonna have to like squat down to see it.
You have to lay down and kind of feel for it.
But there's two little ears. See where the jack's attached? And you
Yeah.
see the two little indentations in the bottom?
Yeah.
That's where it's properly
Oh.
secured. And now
Okay.
you're ready to rock and roll. So you would use,
No, give that to her. She can do this. Come on, Judy. I have faith in you.
so you just loop
Go,
it through
Judy,
the
go.
eyelet right there.
Go, Judy, go.
This?
Uh-huh.
And what's it going to do?
It's in there, I promise.
Okay.
And then start cranking towards me.
Cranking?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Oh, turn it, turn it.
Oh, cranking. Turning and cranking. Oh, yeah, let me try it.
It's got some weight and resistance on it.
You think? Gee, oh my.
No, I think you better do it. I can't get it up.
Well, that's the problem because me and you are broken down. And he's probably not going to be with us next time we break down.
And now we're ready to rock.
Okay, well, what was that? What's that piece? That doesn't work with, that's just
That will
extra?
actually, this is the actual lug wrench. That's what you
That's for
remove
this.
the lug nuts with.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can do that.
Okay.
Here, let me lower it down just a hair so that the tire is still slightly on the ground.
Okay.
Because as you're trying to break the lug nuts loose, you're gonna try, it's gonna want to turn the tire.
It goes over the top.
Yep, and push down.
Oh, okay.
Live in the car.
All right. All right, did y'all put them, did y'all glue these on?
No,
They did,
ma'am.
they just glued them on just to,
Oh my gosh.
really? Really?
I think we'd be out of luck, Jamie, if we
Oh
we-
my gosh, I gotta
I'd
check
call-
my
I'd
car
just
for an
call-
800 number.
I would
Oh,
call-
we don't have any cell service. What would we do?
I don't know.
What would we do? Oh my gosh, what would we do?
You sit in your car and lock the door, hope for somebody to come by.
Yeah,
Nobody
no
gonna
cell
stop.
service.
If you got no cell service, then
it's
we're just
tough
stuck.
situation.
Well, would
Because
you
there's
just
no
put
way
your
to try
light?
that.
You
You think
just
you
put
can
your
do that?
just put your emergency lights on and wait for a car to come by.
Well, nobody's gonna stop. I
If
wouldn't
they-
stop. Would you stop?
No, probably
Exactly. I mean, this day and age, who's gonna stop, Judy?
And just fear of the unknown.
Exactly,
Do you
yeah.
trust the person that's going to stop?
Well, and if somebody stops, you could be the bad person waiting for somebody to stop.
You always
No
have
way.
911 though. Even if you don't have cell service, I've always been
do?
told that
Really?
you still can make an emergency 911 call.
Really?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
That would be very difficult.
It is hard.
I was
It takes
gonna say it is not moving at
It takes a
all.
lot of leverage to break
All right,
break the
suppose
lug
we
nut
got.
with.
So
I got a lot
suppose-
of respect for them NASCAR boys now.
Yeah,
Well,
look
they
how
use
fast
air
do.
tools though too.
Yeah. Okay, so
That'd be a really good thing to have in this car as an
Yeah.
air tool.
okay, so all right, so you get those moved and you put that
Suggestion
on,
box. Can
Yes,
I put
ma'am.
that
and then
in
you put it back
suggestion
on.
box?
Yes, ma'am.
you
So
get
you
that,
just remove
you
that
take that
tire and
off.
wheel and then bolt that one
Put
back
that
up.
one back. So that's pretty. I've never
Well,
seen
I
anybody
can't
do
get
this.
the tire off. How am I
Well,
gonna do
I know,
that?
but that's how you would do it if you could do it.
Thank you, Judy.
Oh gosh! All right,
coulda,
Jane Marie, we gotta go. It's almost time to leave.
Okay.
I
So
had a
if
good
you break
time.
down don't have cell service, you better say your prayers. This is difficult.
Hey, a big shout out today, North Georgia Toyota.
Yes, thank
helping
you
us out.
very much.
Yes,
Matthew,
ma'am.
we appreciate
Happy
your
to help.
patience.
All right, until next time, Judy Elliott with Southern.
Sassy.
Nobody's good, babe, I'm difficult. You're every but tone it down a little. I'm nobody's kind, I'm too cynical. I just need some time, this ain't a riddle. Let's take it easy, keeping it real. I'm not your manic pixie.
Until next time, Southern Sassy. Hey.
Join us.